Action.
Hey everybody, welcome to my Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen. If you are new to my channel, I am Jerry. Some people here on YouTube call me Blind Mama, and that's okay because I'm a mama and I'm blind. So I guess the two go hand in hand in this case. This is part of a pie collaboration. I was tagged by Vicky, my good friend from Vicky's Country Home, to join in on a collaboration full of other lovely ladies doing the pies that they like to make for the holidays or just because they feel like eating pie. So I want to thank Vicky for messaging me and asking me to join in. Now, I'm a little nervous right now because I'm going to talk about something that's pretty sensitive to me. To be quite honest, I wasn't going to make pie this year. I just decided to bring this up because I like to keep it real with my viewers. So, a lot of you know that I lost my father in February of this year, suddenly. And it's been a rough year without him. And we're coming up on the holiday season, and so I'm a little bit not sure how the holidays are going to go. I will get through it. We will get through it. You know, I have brothers, and we will all get through it because my dad would want us to move on. But one thing that I loved about the holidays was making pastries, cookies, pies for my father. He had a sweet tooth that was out of this world. It's probably where I get it. And so my goal for a long time was to master making a pie crust from scratch. Now, I've mentioned my Grandma Millie before. She passed away long before I was interested in baking or cooking of any kind. And so I didn't have her recipe because she was one of those amazing cooks who didn't have any recipes, so she didn't leave any. So with a lot of research and effort, and I just kept practicing, I finally found a pie crust recipe that I love, and I will put it in the description box. I have a video on that. It was one of my early videos, so bear with me, it's not the best. But I will put the link to that video as well as the link to Lori from Whippoorwill Hallers video on how she makes pie crust, because since I've done that video, I've gotten to know her, and she did a video on her technique on how she likes to roll pie crust out, and her technique it just makes more sense than my technique did, and so I'm learning from her. So you could use her pie crust recipe as well. It doesn't matter to me, but just check out her technique. Anyway, I digress. I loved making things for my father during the holidays, and something about hearing his positive feedback, I guess, or just knowing that he loved it. He had a certain way of letting me know that he loved it without coming right out and saying, "Hey kid, I loved it." He just wasn't that type of guy. But what he would tell me was, you know, things like, "You're just about there, you almost got it." And what that really meant was he loved it. And I knew that. So last year I decided to make a pecan pie, a Jack Daniel's pecan pie, because that was his favorite pie that he used to get in a restaurant up north of here called Rock Springs. They had a restaurant where they sold Jack Daniel's pecan pies, and they were huge. So I could make that for my dad. And so last year, with a lot of research again, I used my pie crust, and then I found a different recipe for pecan pie, and I added a splash of whiskey in it, and he was just blown away by how good it was. And so I'm really thankful that I was able to do that last Thanksgiving, because it was my last Thanksgiving with my dad. So anyway, I wasn't gonna make pies this year, but Miss Vicky and Lori, all of you have encouraged me to go forward, and so here you go. I'm gonna make it in honor of my dad, and I'll probably eat some in honor of my dad. So I know he's with me. I wear this necklace. This is his thumbprint and his birthstone. I wear it almost every day to have him with me, because it's been hard, I'm not gonna lie. If any of you have lost your parents, you know. Okay, so getting onward. Let's get on with the pie, shall we? Okay, so it's later this evening, and I'm ready to put the filling together. So for time's sake, I that's okay. Pre-measured everything out. So here we go. 3 eggs that I've already beaten. Tree eggs. That was 3 eggs. And then got all my stuff lined up over here. That's kind of all right. 1 cup of granulated sugar. This is definitely not a pie to eat if you are watching your waistline.
Oh, I caught on to that.
Did you? Okay, hang on 1 sec. I got to. All right.
Trying to. There we go.
1 tablespoon of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. And this is my homemade vanilla. Just soft butter. Some recipes call for you to melt the butter, but I didn't. I just used soft butter.
Careful over there, it's about to spill.
1 full cup of dark Caro syrup. Syrup. We say syrup. Dark Caro syrup.
It's not as slow as syrup.
It's not as slow as molasses.
Some people say
It's got molasses.
Some people say syrup.
Syrup. See. Now for the good stuff. 1/4 cup of whiskey. Confession, this is not Jack Daniel's bourbon. This is some very old Glenmorangie.
Yeah.
I almost forgot the name of it. Glenmorangie that we've had in our cabinet for quite a while. This is the last of it. That might seem like a lot of whiskey, but it's not. And if you don't want to use whiskey, you could use
Water.
you could use apple juice or just leave that part out altogether. And then make sure. Wait, hang on 1 second. All right, we got 1 tablespoon of flour. And we're gonna mix this up. Get this spoon out of there. Good golly, Miss Molly. It's very sticky. And give it a good mix. Smells like whiskey and sugar. Smells pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Trying to hold the phone still because it's slippery on the counter and I'm trying to rest my arm on it.
So I'm going to finish blending this together and then I'm going to get my pie crust out of the refrigerator and we'll be right back. So here's my pie shell I just took out of the fridge. It's nice. Now that it's all cold again and I can feel it, it feels pretty nice. A little bit thicker on this end, but that's all right. So I'm going to dump in a cup of chopped pecans. Spread them around my hand. Now, you could put in a few more pecans if you want, or pecan halves. Honestly, I didn't buy the pecan halves because these were $1 cheaper a pound, and they were $8.99 a pound for the halves. So I paid $7.99 a pound, and I had to get, you know, a few cups worth because I'm doing other recipes coming up. So anyway, if you live where there are pecan trees, such as my friend Bama Blind, Beverly, you are one lucky girl to have pecan trees in your yard. I don't know what I would do. Anyway,
I'd sit, like maybe Dad would have a tree there, and I'd sit on a tire swing and just pick pecans off the tree and eat them.
Yes, so would I.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or a bench there.
Okay, so I have my pie pan. It's a Pyrex glass one. On a foil-lined cookie sheet in case it spills over in the oven. So now we're going to pour this lovely mixture using my big Pyrex that I got from my daddy. And I'm gonna try to pour it into this pie shell.
And all that white stuff is I think Mom said the egg was cold, so the sugar hardened up and turned into that, but it should melt.
Yeah. I just thought of something. Spreading this around in here might be a little bit tricky.
Get it, the dog.
But the pecans will float to the top, which is really cool.
Clear.
How's that look?
It looks very good.
Try to make sure I get it all out as much as possible.
Yeah, the pecans definitely floated to the top. Cookie. She's acting up.
Woo! So it floated to the top. Oh my goodness, it's sticky.
Yeah, it is. When I was stirring it, it was really sticky.
Does it look like it spread out good?
Yeah.
So I don't need to do this?
No.
All right, good. I spilled a little on the edge. I'm gonna have to wipe off with a napkin. Hold that thought for one quick second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rinse off my hands.
Puppy's in the hallway. Hold on. Can I pause this real quick? I gotta get the dogs.
Okay, I did spill a little bit off to the side, so I'm just trying to wipe it a little without tearing up my crust.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't burn too bad in the oven.
And you make pie crust really quick. I was like in my bedroom for like 2 minutes, and then I came out and you're like, I made the pie crust.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
A few hundred times, you mean?
Okay, now I'm gonna put on my silicone crust cover thingamabobber. For my blind viewers, if you don't know what that is, if you've made pies before, you may have covered the crust with foil, like a little foil ring. But my son's and daughter's school was selling these out of one of the gift books, fundraiser books, and it's a silicone pie crust cover that goes around the edges where you would put the foil.
That's surprising. A school would sell that.
It was in a catalog.
Oh, I know which school you're talking about.
And I'm gonna go on ahead and put it over this now so that it doesn't start to burn, and I might take it off when it gets close to being done. You're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and I'm probably gonna bake this for an hour before I check it out and test to see if it's still jiggling. You're gonna want it to bounce back when you press down on it. So if my children are still awake, I will ask for their visual assistance. If not, then I will just do the best I can and push on it and see what I think.
I'll probably be awake.
So I will be back when I take this out of the oven. I won't be cutting it tonight. I'm gonna wait till it completely cools and we'll cut it tomorrow and show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
But for now, it's going in the oven.
And for a couple hours for us, we'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
So it is the next morning, and here it is, this beautiful whiskey pecan pie, totally cooled off. But don't be disappointed, I'm not going to cut it because my husband decided he would like to take it to work to share with his coworkers, so I'm good with that. But there might be a little piece of crust missing because I may or may not have had to taste the crust to make sure it was good. So here you go. That is the whiskey pecan pie. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want to see more fun videos that we do here on our channel. Thanks again to Vicky's from Vicky's Country Home for asking me to join in this pie collaboration. And don't forget to always look at the bright side.